I'm Shane Embury, and I play in Venomous Concept.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Sharp, but far more attractive than Shane Embury.
This is Ook, and you're watching TBS. We're in London tonight. Get
Really just, very in-your-face, basic, no frills attached, fast-paced punk band, really, We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Me and Kevin Sharp, the singer, have been friends for a long, long time. So the idea originally was very pure, stripped down. Some of the bands that we liked, Japanese hardcore bands like Gizm, Goze, Systematic Death, American bands like Poison Idea, RKL Club, early DRI, things like that, really. Many bands have a mascot of some description. And so as it came about, really, it was Kevin's daughter that designed this little character called Ook. And obviously with the new album, we made him the focus. Things like Napalm Death and other things I'm part of, Venomous is not as serious, perhaps, Yes, it touches lyrically on world themes. There's also a very big part of us which is a lot of humour. Ook is perfect for us, really. It creates a kind of pseudonym for chaos and silliness as well. So that's the idea behind him. The name Venomous Concept is a play on words. Poison Idea, Venomous Concept. And it's kind of a homage there. And also, the name of the band is Japanese hardcore bands would always have a strange combination of words for their band names. We used to tape trade, Jerry Ale, a few years, many years ago, and in Napalm Death I played some shows with the guys over the years. I kind of respect as one of our favourite punk bands from back then, but also we do know the guys, and I think at some point we're probably going to do a split single together, split 7-inch. Danny, fridge. We moved ahead with the second record. He was busy, and I kind of took over the guitar, really. But there's always a point where he could return, if the timing's right, really. Because at the moment, Venomous is heading in a direction which is, fast, aggressive punk. There's also a possibility at some point we may veer off and do a record that's different. We've talked about doing an album of cover songs, from bands, not typical bands. So that's a point where Buzz may come back in. But I'm good friends with Buzz, as is Kevin, Lilker. Napalm's going to tour with Melvins in March. There's no grandmaster plan. We've been friends for years. We enjoy our company. It's a lot of fun on tour, and that's one of the reasons why we do it. We don't get together that much, so it's kind of like a bit of a punk rock vacation of some description as well. For us, it's not really. We don't look at it as a super group. They're just people that we've known for a long time, and we're comfortable with each other. People seem to be really into it. I've seen a couple of good reviews online, and so far it's encouraging. You never know what people are going to think, but so far people seem to like it. The sound is on this one is a continuation of the last album in some ways. We kind of purposefully make like the snares sound really pangy, like the whole Septic Death records and things like that. But maybe there's a bit more variation on this one because Dan Lilker wrote some stuff, John Cook wrote some stuff. So, we've got that upbeat GBH kind of punk, but we've also got the SOB influence blasts, and this one's a little bit more varied, I think, than the last two albums, and therefore a bit more complete in a way. Well, this album was just wrote in stages, I think some of the songs go back to even probably 2007, 2008, after a Brutal Truth tour. Dan Lilker stayed at my house for a few days. Like songs like Head on a Stick, that was written a long time ago, and then we went on tour for Poison Apple, and we did some more recordings in Italy. They stayed there for a while, so it's just happened in bits and pieces. And that was the writing process. It was like, a bedroom session in Birmingham, a recording session in Italy, And then me and Danny and Johnny had some more rehearsals in Birmingham a couple of years ago. Then we recorded it in one go. And then Kevin put his vocals down. And then we had to wait for the label to do their promo bullshit before it comes out. This is Back to Basics tour, you know. It's different to what we normally do, I suppose, in our other bands. So they're smaller clubs, you know, smaller crowds are coming out to see us, and we're building it up again, you know, from scratch. But the reactions seem really good. It's keeping in tradition with the tour, because it's 21 shows in 21 days. It's going to be hectic every day. There's going to be long drives. But so far, it's so good, you know. It's going to do what it needs to do, I think. I don't know. I mean, there's certainly people that turn up at our shows are underground fans. They follow the scene, you know. Some of them are younger kids, dare I say it, or late teens, early 20s, who obviously weren't around in the 80s, and there is a community there. Bands like Municipal Waste and their offshoot Iron Reagan and Toxic Holocaust, they've kind of kick-started this new wave of like punk. I don't know, it's like punk stroke early heavy metal people, you know. So there's this weird crossover, but all those kids seem to be doing research on where it comes from. So I do see a community still going there, you know, people checking out new bands that are coming out. It's a madly complex subject. I mean, I don't care too much, really, in some ways. Technology gets developed so people can do this in the first place. I see a lot of people buying vinyl still, you know, a lot of people at our shows buying CDs. Some people may download a record to check it out, but the fans that we play to are more than likely going to say, well, I'm going to check it out first, see if I like it, and if I like it, I'm going to go and buy it. Also, I used to tape trade when I was a kid, you know, demos and stuff like that, but it was a little different back then. These were bands that weren't signed on records at the time. Well, you got some titles.
No. I like yours.
I'm going to keep that one back first.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I got an idea for the album title, but we're going to hold back on that for now. But I mean, musically, there's like 19 songs. Anton has really stepped up to the plate. He's wrote the majority of it, probably, like say 60% of it. It's insanely fast, crazy riffs, brutal as brutal can be. But there's going to be some, I think, a different flavor this time with Kevin singing.
It does for metal, kind of what the VC does for that 80s hardcore, but it mixes up a bunch of different kind of styles. But Anton definitely has his own unique style, and you know, Barker's an absolute, you know, apocalypse, and you know, I'm looking forward to hearing your tracks. I'm certain they're pretty heavy too. So I don't know, man. I mean, I've had conversations with some old timers. I remember having a conversation with Bill Steer a couple years ago. We were talking about the same thing, and it was like, you know, at a certain point, like, you know, when you're a kid and you're out, like, you know, like, for instance, in Brutal Truth's early days, we didn't have a van, we didn't have gear. We would take trains to gigs and borrow people's gear and play shows up and down the East Coast that way. So our expectations were extremely low. A long time ago, I somewhat made a conscious decision as to, like, this is just what I do. And, you know, I hadn't really looked back since. I mean, there's no pension here. There's no retirement plan with grind. So, you know, I'm going to do it until someone tells me what to go eat the tapioca pudding.
I always wanted to do this, but you also has a lot of luck involved, and then you go, well, this is what I want to do, and then I don't feel like doing anything else. So you strive to go on.
I don't know. I tried a couple times having a straight life, and it's just not for me. I don't know why, what it says about me that, like, there's an appeal to rolling around in a van with 9 dudes for fucking 21 days in a row.
For being a work resolution.